To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All you gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun? Say yeah! I wanna know where to go. I wanna know where to go. Give me the go. I wanna know where to go. I wanna know where to go. Give me the go.
Take four.
Take four. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey, Jeff.
What?
Top of the morning to you.
Yeah.
What do we got today?
Again, for the third time we've tried to record this fucking episode.
We've been having technical difficulties, folks, and we've
This
kind
sucks.
of lost. We've lost our.
We lost our steam. We lost our gusto.
Yeah.
This is film Seizure.
We're professionals, though. We're gonna plow through it, right? Right.
One way or another.
Right.
One way or another.
We've got to somehow talk about Leprechaun in the Hood and Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
Back to the Hood.
To the Hood.
Hey, shit.
So we're going to try and do that.
Again.
We recorded about an hour and 15-minute episode that crashed right at the end, right after watching these movies, and that was debilitating. And then we decided, all right, well, let's get together a couple of days later and knock it back out, which we just tried to do. We got about 25 minutes in, and it crapped again, and our backup didn't take. So here we are.
Here we go.
Once again, talking about
fucking Leprechaun.
Leprechaun-oween, episode 3, week 3. Leprechauns
5 and 6. You got that?
Got all
Good.
that? Take
Fuck
3.
Off. All right, so here we go.
Fuck off.
Leprechaun in the Hood. It's about some stuff. Leprechaun 6.
About some other stuff.
It's about some other stuff. We're good. We're out. We got it. We recorded it.
We're done.
We did it.
Hey, if nothing else, that's our episode.
Yeah. No. If it crashes now,
That's
still.
it.
Well, we've got a different backup
We do.
going.
We do.
But this is not giving me much confidence in what all we've got.
So we
here.
had a long, elaborate description of why we think these movies came to be, particularly Leprechaun in the Hood. And in a nutshell, what it boils down to is Jeff worked at a video store in kind of the hood.
Kind of, yeah.
And black folk really liked this movie. They rented it a whole lot.
Well, that was before this movie came out.
But they particularly
what they really like are horror movies. They like action movies, and sure, why not on both of those genres?
Well, yeah.
But also, there was this new wave of blaxploitation that was kind of hitting in the late '90s with rap stars just kind of making their own movies.
Yeah. Particularly Master P. I'm About It.
Yep, that was a huge movie.
Yep.
And it spawned a whole bunch of follow-ups. I mean, hell, what's the R. Kelly one that came out later in the 2000s?
God, Trapped in a Closet.
Whatever that was, yeah.
That was a little different, but yeah,
But it
was
follows
certainly
that
an
same
extension of that model. Yeah,
right. And so it was this kind of new wave of blaxploitation mixed with musical.
Yes.
And but also there is a certain tongue in cheek that I think black folks and certainly blaxploitation movies have always kind of had that, right? No matter how serious Shaft was, there was still a little bit of moment of levity, if you will.
Yeah, sort of a what is it? A good-naturedness, maybe.
Well, it was punching up at the man.
Yeah.
So there would be some levity from then. Rudy Ray Moore came along and decided that this ain't enough. We got to really have fun.
We got to add some kung fu and some pimping.
Yep.
And
all sorts of stuff.
Some big old breastises.
Yep. And bitch, are you for real? That's And someday I really would like to talk about the Dolomite movies.
We have started all 3 of these versions in completely different ways.
Yeah, we have. Anyway,
Our first 2 takes.
They were good. Lost the
in
time.
Like tears in rain. Jesus.
I think we realized at that exact moment that what we lost.
Time to die.
Yeah. Jason is dying. Fantastic.
Right as we speak.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Slow and painfully.
so Leprechaun in the Hood starts off wonderfully.
Yes.
It takes place in assumably the 70s,
70s.
where you have Ice-T and a big fro and his homeboy breaking into this place, thinking they're going to find something. What they find is a half-eaten hamburger. I've just now remembered that detail.
That. Yeah.
Well, because he's like, man, there ain't nothing here. And the guy's like, well, maybe the hamburger's still good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, there is a leprechaun there.
Yeah.
And he's got the necklace around him that freezes him. So that it does kind of borrow a little bit from 2 in that regard, some of the rules that follows. And so they a series of events happens. The leprechaun gets free.
Yeah.
Kills Ice Cube's buddy with his own pick.
Yeah, his hair pick.
Yep, which is amazing.
Stabs him in the throat.
Yep, love it.
Ice-T, because this is really silly,
Yeah. And so Leprechaun's going to attack Ice-T. So he reaches into his afro.
It's a bitchin' afro.
It's a pretty big afro. And he pulls out a little knife. He's like, ha, I got you. And then Leprechaun magics that away. So he reaches back into his fro and pulls out a full-size fucking Louisville Slugger.
Yeah. Yeah.
A whole baseball bat coming out of that.
His fro was like Mary Poppins' carpet bag.
Right. And this is where you realize exactly what we're going to get.
Yeah. It's going to be some fun, silly shit.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be these broad jokes.
Yeah.
Or at least it's going to have the opportunity of these broad jokes.
It's certainly not going to take itself seriously.
Right. And so what happens from here is that the he goes back in for because the baseball bat
gets magicked away.
Yeah.
Then he goes back in to his fro, and he's like frantically searching his fro for something else.
Now I thought, wouldn't it be fucking great if something really comical, like a whole fucking lawnmower or something comes out, and he tries to cut him up or whatever.
But he comes up short. There's nothing left, and he's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. And at that point, the necklace, one way or another, falls.
It flies in the air.
It falls back into.
Falls back on the leprechaun's neck,
right?
His head, and he's frozen again. And fast forward 20 years.
Right, and so we meet our young heroes of Leprechaun in the Hood. Postmaster P.
What's P stand for? Positivity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
His partner, Stray Bullet.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, I think everybody agrees is the better rapper.
Yeah.
Postmaster P is just he's a little bit better put together or what have you.
But he doesn't want his music to be too aggressive. He wants it to be positive.
Because I think one of the things that often came out of particularly the 90s black movies was the struggle. I mean, it was hard living in Harlem or in Compton. Or what was the other? There are a couple other places in L.A.
South Central.
Yeah, and yeah. So I mean, there's all sorts of, and so a lot of that was, a lot of the movies that were about people living in those areas were very violent.
What was the Wayans Brothers movie? Don't be a menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. That movie's funny.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
I think so.
Is it still?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. When I was 18, yeah.
But no, I mean, it's a lot of drugs. It's a lot of gang violence. It's, so there was always this kind of trying to find positives in these types of situations. So I can kind of understand. Yeah, I can see where Postmaster P's coming from. It's like you gotta do. We can be better. We can all do better. We can all, let's be positive instead of whatever. But When we'll get to it.
But Mac Daddy Onassis,
Mac Daddy, which is Ice-T. He doesn't think so.
He's not having any of that.
Now Butch is the third person of this triumvirate. He is kind of their pyrotechnic
DJ.
But the DJ is not like spinning records.
Someone's got to create the beats
by pushing play on a boombox.
Yeah.
He just kind of sits back in the background. He's kind of set dressing.
Sure.
So Butch kind of fucks up all their equipment. So,
i.e., he blows it all up.
Yeah. So then they decide, it's like, oh shit, we got to get new stuff because we need to get to Las Vegas so that we can win the United States rap battle
challenge, whatever.
But they got to win. It's not just going to Las Vegas. They got to win the Los Angeles Regional,
right,
to even get to Las Vegas. This is real, by the way. This shit really happened in the movie. So, so they try to pawn a guitar, right?
This actually cracks me up. Like, yeah, they tried to pawn Jimi Hendrix's guitar, autographed guitar, from
which
the
just
year,
says Jimmy on it.
Yeah, from the year after he died.
Yeah. And the first pawn shop they go to is like, oh, fuck out, get the fuck out of here.
I think this is hilarious that they had to have equipment, because you're right. All they did was press play on a boombox.
Yeah.
So all they need, I'm sure, any venue that's hosting a rap battle has
a tape
microphones and a tape player.
Yeah.
Right? They don't need equipment.
Yeah. Now, granted, we saw this movie a half a week ago. The first time we tried to fucking record this episode.
I'm breaking it down now.
Okay.
I'm like, I found all the plot holes.
Oh, have you now? Have you now, laddie? Yeah. So then they go to the Asian man. Of course, the Asian man is not really down with these young African American youths. That's just That's a thing, man.
But he dances later.
He does, because
he does his little like hip hop dance.
Well, because they have money later.
Yeah, that's true.
So they decide
he wants to be in their video.
Right.
Yeah.
They eventually come across Big Daddy Onassis.
And Big Mac Daddy.
Big Daddy. Big Mac Mayor McCheese. So they go to his office, and he's like, all right, fellas, what you got? And they give him a tape, they play it, and he's like, it's okay. I mean, it's like, Stray Bully, you got something, but Postmaster P, this positivity shit is whack.
I like how he.
I think he actually
does call it whack. I like how he says, it's all fine except for this, and he smashes the tape.
He destroys the tape.
So he's like, basically, he's like, you guys seem like you'll hustle, like
right.
You've got some hustle, you're hungry. I can always use that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
but this positivity crap.
Yeah. So instead of
the
positivity, what he thinks the young of America wants to hear is smack your bitch up and shoot your motherfucking homeboy in the face.
Shoot your motherfucking homeboy in the face. This is also the same guy, Mac Daddy Onassis, who said to the leprechaun, he called him a midget Midas motherfucker. Ice-T is just precious.
He's fantastic.
He's just wonderful.
So they come up with the idea. They're desperate. They're hungry.
You know what else happened?
What?
When the leprechaun got released.
He made that Tiger Woods.
He did make a Tiger Woods joke.
That was the second time.
Later, but when he got released, one of the first things he said, he quoted Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah, he did.
He said, "Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last."
Which
that
I'm
is
sure
a thing that happened.
I'm sure Martin Luther King was like, "Gosh, I really hope this part of my speech makes it someday to
a leprechaun movie."
Right.
I want to know what was going through Warwick Davis's mind when he had to deliver that line.
Man, at least I'm working.
Yeah, but I think I might ask him that one day if I get the chance. I want to know. So, do you remember when you quoted Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Leprechaun in the Hood? How was that day?
Were you worried?
Yeah. Did you think maybe that might not go over so well, or was everybody just? Did they think it was funny?
Yeah, because this movie. I will say one thing about this movie. I love it. It knows what it wants to be. It's weird. It is. I mean, we haven't even gotten to the weird shit yet.
Don't some things just seem like a little sacred, though? No.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, who do you think? Who do you think they made this movie for?
If I were Warwick Davis dressed up like a leprechaun, I'd feel awkward as shit.
Well, yeah, probably because it's like, this is what you guys think
With
of me.
Ice-T like 5 feet away.
Who do you think they made this movie for?
I know, and I'm sure it got big laughs. But man, I would feel uncomfortable.
All right, so they decide, all right, fuck it, we're gonna go back to Mayor McCheese's place. We're gonna rob that motherfucker.
Yep.
And we're gonna get that fucking gold necklace off that weird lawn jockey he's got.
Yeah.
Which he's got the leprechaun statue.
Yeah, they call it a lawn jockey.
A lawn jockey. Which you explained in one of our takes. In one of our 99 takes.
I got 99 takes.
And an episode ain't one of them.
Yeah. I did.
Oh! Bam!
Boom! Driving on home.
Yeah. Don't fail us now.
I did mention that that there's an urban legend. I'm pretty sure it's just an urban legend. It's not verified as historical truth. But that lawn jockeys, the different coloring and symbols on them were some sort of way to signal to those on the Underground Railroad what houses were safe, and like different types of stops along the way. And I don't know. I think it's all actually bullshit from what I understand, but it's kind of a fun urban legend.
It only would be
it's kind
funner.
It's kind of a nice reappropriation because
Sure.
lawn jockeys are racist as all hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be more fun if those things were haunted.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, everything is a little more fun when it's haunted, right?
Right. And every stop along the way of the Underground Railroad is haunted as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so they bust in. They're scooping up gold and they're scooping up stuffs and they're gonna make off. But Leprechaun comes alive.
Yep. Yeah.
And movie's over. Anyway.
That's it.
No. So Leprechaun comes to life. He
kind of strikes a deal with Mac Daddy Onassis.
Yes, by saying basically you get my they also shoot him, but he's protected by a medallion.
Oh yeah.
So they shoot Mac Daddy Onassis, and that's when Postmaster P gets the golden flute that Mac Daddy had stolen from the Leprechaun. Now,
the flute's important.
The flute is super important because the flute is kind of like a Pied Piper sort of thing. When you play it, basically people will listen to you and kind of turn towards you and listen. So obviously Mac Daddy has used this to gain power.
Yeah.
In the recording industry.
He's used this to make his music sell.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Right. And so now Postmaster P has it, and Ice-T needs that back. Like, that is really what he wants back. But he said he'll help the Leprechaun get his gold back or whatever. I think with the idea in mind that Leprechaun won't hurt him or something.
Yeah, but they're good.
But we know how that's going to go.
There's double cross, triple cross,
quadruple cross, all the cross.
Really, at the end of the day, you've got the three young men who are in the crosshairs of both the Leprechaun and Ice-T. Not a place you want to be.
No. I don't know who's more dangerous.
Yeah,
honestly,
they're both pretty
tough. Pretty tough. So the at this point, Shenanigans ensue at this point, really. Like the guys know that they're in trouble, so they're gonna stay at a at a cross-dresser's house.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Miss Fontaine.
Yeah, and I don't know if she's a cross-dresser or trans or what's going on. I think she's going to be trans.
She's pre-op. Yeah, because she talks about her surgery and how every little bit helps.
Yes.
And she is charging them to stay there, but they also have to put on a show. So they do like a rap concert
and that's
on
when
her
they
balcony
realize,
or something.
And that's when they realize, or that's the first inkling that Master P has that the flute does something.
Yeah, it entrances people to like their shit.
Yeah, and so after they get her killed because the leprechaun comes
kills her.
And he has a limerick about not wanting to deal with any fruit. He just wants his magical flute.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? 20 years ago was a different time.
Yeah, sure was.
It sure was. Sure was. Then they decide that, oh, shit, we got to go and stay at the Reverends. The church will give us cover.
Yeah, the sanctuary in the sanctuary.
Right. And
as Butch puts it.
Yeah, and Butch. Oh, Butch. They stay at the church, and the preacher's like, all right, first of all, we're gonna go with whatever the rate would be at a hotel, because whatever, sure. And they're like, oh, we already put something in the coffers, you know. And so then he's like, oh, okay, well, I'll tell you what. In the morning during my sermon, I want you guys to do a song. And so they're freestyling, and they ain't very good at it.
Nope.
Because Stray Bullet says something like,
I can't remember.
Oh, God.
Like Jesus and hoes. And
yeah, like Jesus loves me, this I know. And if he doesn't, I'll go get some hoes.
That's about as good as their freestyle.
It's about as good. And everybody's like getting offended. Well, right. Postmaster P uses the flute, brings everybody back. It becomes this raucous party.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they move on from that.
Yeah.
At this point, it's just kind of going from place to place.
The leprechaun, I think, shows up at some point in the church, and that's when the funniest part of the whole movie happens.
Oh God, yes.
I can't. Sorry, it's been a few days now, but the
sermon is over.
The sermon's over. The leprechaun attacks. They're trying to run away from the leprechaun, and then they're kind of regrouping together. Actually, I don't even think the leprechaun has showed up yet. It was Ice-T who showed up, and they.
Oh yeah, Ice-T shows up first.
Yeah, because that's what makes it so funny, actually, because they run off. And they're kind of like in this closet area or warehouse storage area.
Oh my God, yes.
And they're sitting down. And Postmaster P turns to Stray Bullet. It's like, we got this, man. And they give each other like bumps.
Yeah.
You know? And then
Stray Bullet turns
to Butch. It's like, we got this, man, and gives them bumps. And then it's classic. It's so like it's been done so many different ways in so many different movies, but Butch turns to his left. He's like, we got this, man. And he gives fist bumps to the leprechaun. He's sitting there right next to him. And Warwick Davis is probably his best facial performance in the whole damn series. Is just looking at him with this grin on his face. And then they look and they all scream and they run. Yeah. And it's funny as hell.
Yeah. And
it's so dumb, but it killed us.
Yeah. It's so classic humor. You know, it's like this movie looked like it was fun to me. Everybody looks like they're having fun. I assume Ice-T is having fun. I don't.
It's hard to tell.
He's so hard.
He's so hard.
But anyway, in the in between time, the leprechaun gets some zombie fly girls.
Zombie fly girls. Yeah. He turns some women into zombie fly girls.
And that scene is excised from where it happens and placed at the end of the movie where we get an entire leprechaun rap.
Yes.
And that's gold?
Yes.
Quite literally.
Lep in the hood, come to do no good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so basically the Leprechaun also, this I think actually happens at the church.
Who the hell knows?
The Leprechaun makes Stray Bullet kill himself.
Oh, yeah.
Using the magics and having him hold the gun to his head, and then kind of controlling his finger to pull the trigger. And so Butch and Postmaster P are like super pissed.
Yeah.
About everything that's going on here.
Their boy.
Yeah, and so also Postmaster P has like a blind mom or grandma.
And he has a dream about the blind
leprechaun
going to his mom's house, and she's feeding him.
Yeah.
And she accidentally pokes the leprechaun's eye out, and then Postmaster P wakes up.
Uh-huh.
And then he has another dream, and he wakes up.
Yeah.
It's like they shot some stuff, and they're like, we should put this somewhere.
Well, all we know is that the leprechaun rap can't happen in the middle of the movie.
No, that would be inexplicable. That would kill all sense of pace.
And it would really change
the whole tone
of this movie.
Yeah. Yes. It was an artistic decision.
Yeah. But anyway, they decide that they need to break the spell on the zombie fly girls.
Right.
And find out where the leprechaun is.
Infiltrate the leprechaun's tower of hose.
Yeah. It's also really super dark that they discover that. So they've got the zombie fly girls who must be going out and getting chicks, kind of putting them in a spell, bringing them back to the leprechaun so he can fuck them to death.
Yeah.
I don't know how Butch figures that shit out.
I don't either, but that's what's happening.
That's what's going on.
So what do they do to
Well,
infiltrate?
they're going to put on some dresses.
Yeah, they're gonna look dressed like ladies.
Yep. And Butch still has his little mustache.
Butch does not look like a very attractive lady. Does not look like a lady at all.
At least Postmaster P is kind of passable.
Yeah, they joke about that.
at least in a long way. Yeah, because like even at one point, Butch is like, "Man, you do look pretty fine.
You look fine as hell."
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, you look fine as hell.
Now, what their plan is to give the leprechaun, because the leprechaun,
leprechaun has a newfound enjoyment of the reefer.
The bomb.
Yes, this is the bomb.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to our Irish faithful out there.
Well, I'm
Whatever.
one of them.
Yeah, I know. I feel so sorry for you.
So, yeah,
it's just crippling alcoholism.
Crippling.
And these fucking leprechaun movies.
Our livers glow green.
Your O-livers?
O-livers.
Anyway, so they're going to give them a joint that's infused with crumbled up clovers.
Yes.
So we're bringing back the clover aspect.
Clover. Oh, yeah. And how did they learn how to defeat the leprechaun with clover?
From a book.
Yeah.
Which book?
Leprechauns for Dummies.
Absolutely. One of the best sellers of the whole series.
I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
I mean at least 500 pages.
Yeah. So they're going to, and they also use that to break the zombie fly girls out of their trance.
Yes.
And so that's when, and then they're like, all like, oh my God, we did what? Which I think has a lot to do with, oh my God, would
you say that the leprechaun probably has a pickle dick?
Probably.
Yeah. It's like a green, warty pickle dick.
Or it looks like a toadstool.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, wow. Ooh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Or it looks like Lucky Charms. It's just the Lucky Charm, just a bunch of Lucky Charms.
Just marshmallow.
Yeah.
It's
a purple-headed dick.
I like the pickle dick best.
Yeah, that I really lost it with the.
He also is this the one where he makes the comment about he's got it where it counts?
Yeah.
He talks to somebody on the phone. Maybe it's a later one. It might be in Returns.
It is later. It's the second. It's the leprechaun back to the hood. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. So anyway, so Butch dies. Yeah. Because he gets shot.
Yeah.
By Mac Daddy.
Butch gets shot by a stray bullet.
Yeah, but not by Stray Bullet. A Stray Bullet.
Yeah.
It would have been better if his name was Stray Bullet. Yeah. That would have made more sense.
Would have been irony.
Yeah. Come on, guys. You fucking up the Leprechaun movies.
Yeah.
So, basically, Postmaster P gets some help from Ice-T.
Oh, Ice-T also comments Postmaster P on how good he looks.
He sure does.
It's like, damn,
Yeah.
you actually look pretty good.
Yeah. So they team up for about 30 seconds before Ice-T gets killed. And then Postmaster P apparently wins? Question mark?
Ooh, that's what you think.
But at the end, before the rap song that happened earlier in the movie, you see that he has still, he basically still has his flute. Everything's going swimmingly. And he is like a big time rap star. And the leprechaun's hanging out there and he's like, I taught him everything he knows.
Oh, cue
Rap song.
credits and then rap song.
Yes. We talked a lot about this movie because this movie is a lot more fun than its sequel.
Yeah.
However, I will say this is one of those few movies, and I feel like the odd number, we're in that reverse Star Trek, right?
Right.
We've got the odd numbers are good and the even numbers not so good.
Right.
This movie knows exactly what it wants to be.
Yeah.
Much like the other odd movies in this series. It pretty much sets out to be a thing, and it does that thing.
Sure.
It's obvious. For a long time, I always wondered, it's like, man, this couldn't have been a Leprechaun movie. This had to have just had the Leprechaun shoehorned in.
Oh,
no,
this was
I
the
think
Leprechaun movie.
100%, maybe even more so than 2, 3, and 4.
3 was definitely a Leprechaun movie.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I think you could have made that any kind of monster or any kind of greed monster, and they just threw the leprechaun in. I think this 100% more knows what it wants to be than any other movie in the series.
This was definitely a Leprechaun movie. I mean, you've got Ice Cube. You only have Ice-T for a couple of days of shooting at best on a movie like this.
Oh, I don't know.
And you've written lines for him like midget Midas motherfucker. Yeah, this is a Leprechaun movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. I bet Ice-T was there for a lot of the shoot.
Maybe
He
does disappear a bit in the second act.
Yeah, but he's. I feel like you got too much stuff of him for it to only be a few days. I feel like he was there for probably half the shoot.
This was probably only like a 3 or 4 week shoot, though.
Oh, sure, but
He's there a week, I think, at most. 5 days.
I don't know.
5 days. Anyway.
So
Anywho,
we were feeling pretty good about this.
it's pretty fun. It had it ranked pretty well on the Limerick.
Yeah, give me the stats. Give me the stats.
We got 25 limericks from the Leprechaun.
That's pretty good.
There were 3 non-lep limericks.
Fantastic.
And that was actually what we were hoping would have a bigger payoff, because it seemed like for a moment that the Leprechaun and Postmaster P were trading limericks.
Yep.
And that they might have a limerick rap battle, which would have been amazing.
That would have really elevated this movie.
They did not take it to the height that it could have gone.
Right.
But that comes out to a grand total of 28 limericks and a Leprechaun rap, which was like off the charts with rhymes.
Sure.
Leprechaun spitting rhymes.
Yeah.
So
it's like you wound up the leprechaun.
Pretty high on the limerick-o-meter.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, that would put it at number 2.
Yeah.
To date.
And you would think this one should be 1 or 2.
Yeah.
You know, like this, everything about this movie feels like it should be that.
Yeah, it's second on the limerick-o-meter to date through the first 5 Leprechaun movies. Only to be beaten by Leprechaun 3, which was off the charts with 41 limericks.
Well, but you also had 2 leprechauns at one point for a brief period, you know.
Yes,
so, yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Yes, that one had the most non-Leprechaun limericks. It had quite a few of those. Right. So, that brings us to the sequel within the sequel.
Yeah.
Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this movie?
So, okay. We were just talking about this kind of new wave of blaxploitation, right? That often portrayed struggle and strife in the Hood, right?
Yeah.
And whereas Leprechaun in the Hood was kind of playing both with the tongue-in-cheek horror that was a big hit with African Americans, and also the rap movie kind of blaxploitation stuff that was going on in the late 90s.
Yep.
Well, back to the Hood. The problem is, well, let me read the back of the box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think knowing everything that we just talked about and how much fun we had with Leprechaun in the Hood, Back to the Hood starts off with, he's back, he's mean, ellipses, he's high, question mark, ellipses, extra period, again, question mark. The Leprechaun is back in the Hood, all blazed up and seeking revenge, exclamation point. When a group of friends discover his treasure, they soon find out they've unleashed a can of demented whoop-ass, exclamation point. With their stack of riches, they go from poor to ghetto fabulous overnight, spending their newfound loot on pimped-out cars and hair extensions. One by one, the friends stand up to the weed-smoking, knife-wielding, car-stealing leprechaun who will stop at nothing to get his treasure back. Evil has a whole new rap, and the kids from the Hood had better watch their backs. Okay, now I read it like that because that sounds fucking fun, doesn't it? He's all blazed up again. But does he smoke weed in this movie?
Yes.
Does he continue to smoke weed after that one time?
No.
Why?
Because he smokes, because he gets too fucked up.
Yeah, he can't handle the
He
shit.
can't handle shit. He could handle the shit in the last movie.
Oh, he loved
and
his
that shit was the bomb.
The bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says it.
The bomb.
Yeah.
So that's already weird.
Yeah.
They also it's a little disingenuous to the tone of the movie because we tried to talk about this the first time we recorded this episode where it didn't feel like this script started as a Leprechaun movie.
Absolutely
it felt
not.
like it started as like a spec script or a treatment of a more sort of urban drama that was
Oh my God.
yeah because we talked about Boys in the Hood and how it has sort of that idea of we got to get out from underneath this this poverty, this neighborhood, this violence, this cycle violence, right? But then and it all the root of all of their problems can be solved with money. And
or with means. Just with means.
With means, right.
Which let's face it,
right, with
that
means.
that is every upper middle class and upper class person's ability to not live in a shitty neighborhood.
Right.
It's means. It's not necessarily even education.
And the two women of our group,
they have their heads screwed on straight, man.
Yeah, I mean our main female character works at a hair salon.
She's trying, man.
She's trying to do everything she can. She doesn't frivolously spend the money when she gets it. In fact, she shares it with her friends.
Yeah.
And one of the friends she shares it with, her female friend, she shares with her to help her pay for school.
Buy a car
so that she doesn't have to rely on public transportation, which is unreliable to get to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and then you have this whole backstory with her ex-boyfriend has maybe gotten wrapped up with some bad dudes. And
he owes some money.
He owes some money. He's got the ghetto fabulous girlfriend.
Right.
The new girlfriend is ghetto fabulous.
She's the one that's trouble that spends all his newfound money.
She's a gold digger.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
She is trash. I mean, she is. She's just flat out. I mean, she's that kind of sexy trash where it's like, yeah, she'll probably let you, do stuff to her, but you're going to pay. You're going to fucking pay.
She's looking for a sugar daddy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, then there's the other guy in the movie, which likes the girl who wants to go to school.
Right. He just wants to.
He just wants to fucking.
He just
smoke.
wants to get stoned.
Yeah. He just wants to be fucked up constantly.
He buys a trash bag of pot.
A literal trash bag full of pot.
Even though our main female character tells him that he can spend it on anything he wants, just not on dope.
Right.
But he buys pot. Yeah.
He buys a shit ton of dope.
Yep.
Now
sure
maybe what he did was maybe he bought all of his bills worth of dope now that he has this money to pay for the bills. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? That's
little
smart.
Little bait and switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you call
Like
smart.
now I have all this extra income.
Exactly.
I could spend my own money.
Exactly.
I bought this with my own money.
Right.
I like it.
All this money you just gave me
Yeah.
paid my bills.
Paid my bills. Perfectly
He
reasonable.
paid his rent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, now here's the thing. All of this, if it is what this is, if it's that drama, or if it's
Right.
a different, imagine if you will, this becomes more of a psychological thriller that certain things catch up to them
Yes.
because this newfound money spirals them out into different directions,
Yes,
right?
or it's cursed in some way.
Or whatever.
yeah.
This might be a decent movie.
Yeah.
The problem is, and the reason why we were so quickly turned off, is that this is a Leprechaun movie.
Yeah.
You open with a really kick-ass scene
Priest
with
versus leprechaun.
Priest versus Leprechaun at the building site of this
Youth center.
center.
Yeah.
And he gets buried. And
Yeah, it's like this, almost like this power of Christ compels you scene. The black priest has got a crucifix, and instead of holy water, it's clover water.
Yeah.
He's spraying the leprechaun with.
yeah.
And he buries him into the ground,
Right.
stabbing him too as
Yeah.
he goes. Yeah.
So he's, seemingly, now it seems like the whole thing is cursed, right? Because like the youth center, a year passes, youth center still not built. The two girls comment on, nothing good happens in this neighborhood, and you really are building that idea now.
And it's like 25 minutes
Until we see a leprechaun.
until there's even the gold.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, all right, this maybe is a movie that would be interesting if I didn't fucking know it was a leprechaun movie. Where's
Exactly.
the goddamn leprechaun?
Right. I mean, one of the other things we talked about in the previous attempt to record this episode was the fact that this movie feels like it could be, if you shave out the leprechaun and you kind of trim down the movie a little bit, this could be a really good portion of an anthology movie, like a Tales from the Hood
from
or
Tales
something
from the
like
Hood, yeah.
something like that, where you have these people who there's a drama to it, and it's unfortunate what happens to them, but maybe somewhat ironic or karmic.
You had an idea that I thought was really good, where they all kind of go their separate ways and spend the money in different ways, and there's a cursed element or whatever that might be, and it's not until they all realize that they have to use this newfound wealth in a way, perhaps it's to fund the new youth center or whatever it might be, to where they can actually break the curse and the money can actually be spent without negative repercussion.
Right.
Which I think is kind of an interesting idea.
That would have even worked if it was still a leprechaun movie.
Yeah, it could have.
Because you always think that leprechauns are kind of like a little mean avarice sprite, and not necessarily a demon, not necessarily a monster, just this mischievous representation of avarice.
Yeah.
And
but I like the idea that of these characters working against each other, and the reason why these bad things are happening is because they're not in unison.
Right. I think I even said that one person spending their money one way affects somebody negatively over here.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that would be better. That's a better movie.
It's a much better movie.
This movie has a severe tonal issue once the leprechaun comes out.
Yep.
There are some legitimately scary scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
The girl who wants to go to school, she is filling out her application, right? And she's just kind of hanging out. She's going to take a bath. She's filling out her application. She's like almost like she's breathing that sigh of relief that the future is going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
and that's the moment you realize, like, oh shit, this girl's dead.
Yeah.
But she hears something in the kitchen. She goes out, looks in the cabinets, nothing. She hears something again, and the cabinet door's open. She goes, closes it. Now she realizes something's wrong. She starts walking slowly back towards the bathroom. Another sound. She turns around. All the cabinets are open. That's scary.
Yeah.
That's like some poltergeisty, scary shit. And it was a tense scene.
It was a tense scene. It's probably the most horrific scene, like traditionally horror style scene in the movies through to this point.
Right. Now, and there are also some fun scenes in there, right? Like there's a scene in which the girl and her ex-boyfriend are being chased by the cops.
Yes.
And the leprechaun's chasing the girl and the ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is that the cops put the couple into the back seat, and the leprechaun fights the cops. And
The leprechaun. Essentially, the cop, I think, unloads his whole gun into the leprechaun. Doesn't phase him. He's like, "What the hell are you?" And the leprechaun rips the cop's leg off. Like,
the cop tries kung fu on him.
Oh, that's right.
The first cop, the black cop,
that's right,
unloads the gun, and he just gets like gutted or something. And then the other cop's like, "Oh, fuck this! I know kung fu because of course."
Yeah.
And that's when he he catches his leg and rips off his leg.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, beat that motherfucker with his leg, and then you've got the best movie of the series.
But something pretty fucking funny happens.
Yes. So later, the ex-boyfriend is caught by the guy who he owes money to. So, and they've also discovered,
and two of our characters have since also gotten away. They got out of the cop car and ran away.
Right. Now, they've also discovered that the pot of gold replenishes itself.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a never-ending pot of gold,
right?
Which is problematic because the leprechaun really wants that back.
Yeah.
So they decide, we're going to give it to this guy. And they do.
Yeah.
But
there had been a
Gangman.
There had been a scene earlier, though. This is important. When Leprechaun decides to steal the cop car, he gets in the driver's side of the cop car, and he's like, "Ooh!" He's like, he's excited.
We've seen in previous movies he does enjoy motor vehicles.
He does. He's going to steal this one, and he's like, super excited about it until he realizes that his feet don't reach the pedals. He's like, "Eh." And then you see his eyes light up, and then it cuts.
Yeah, and it's like you get that fucking
he's
leg.
Gonna get that fucking cop leg, right? Yeah.
Right. So then Gangman is gonna like fuck up the ex-boyfriend, probably even shoot him. I think he's like, this is interest, at this point I'm just gonna fucking kill you. A cop car comes down the street and they're like, oh dang, the 5-0 whatever. I don't think that's what they said, but that's what I would have said. It's the fuzz.
It's the fuzz.
So the cop car is coming down. It's like,
yeah.
It's the leprechaun. He opens the door. What do we see?
Oh man, it's great. So it's a low camera angle shot. You see the door open, and then you see a leg step out,
like stomp out, like this guy's gonna like pull that fucking cop attitude,
And then it comes up. The camera comes up, and you see it's the leprechaun whose head can just barely fit over the door, and he tosses the cop leg.
Yeah,
and it's wonderful,
right? And that stuff. And so here's where you get into this weird dichotomy of this sixth movie, right?
Yeah,
because let's say this was Leprechaun 5, and Back to the Hood became, or Leprechaun in the Hood was Back to the Hood. Let's say the movies were swapped, right? The more serious one first. This movie might be better. We might have liked this movie more if it was the more serious one, and then they decided to go tongue-in-cheek with the sequel.
Right.
There are elements in this movie that fit both a fine movie on its own, whether it's just a drama or a thriller or a straight-out horror. And then there are elements like the scene with the leprechaun and the with the leg and everything that is a Leprechaun movie. whenever you see such a stark dichotomy within a single narrative, you know that the movie was not fully formed.
No, this was a, forgive, I guess, sort of pun, a half-baked kind of creative effort here.
Right. Because there are also a lot of funny things that miss bad.
Oh yeah,
like when the leprechaun
my ninja.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they kept trying to push that joke, and it's like, dude, nobody says that. It's not funny.
No.
I'd rather you just say the word that you want to say because this is the appropriate circumstance. You know, I mean, you could have even set up a joke for the leprechaun.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah.
One way or another, either he says the word and they were like, "What are you saying?"
That would have been
or
that would
he
have been
says
another
ninja
awkward
because
day for Warwick
right.
Davis.
Or you could have had him be offended.
Yeah.
By the way, you know, there is a way that you can set that joke up differently.
But they really do. They just keep trying to hammer
and
over
it's
the
not
head
funny.
with
It doesn't work the first time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work going forward. This is not a rule of threes. It was like the rule of 43s.
Yeah.
They kept trying this joke and it doesn't work. The other really bad is when he gets stoned.
Yeah.
The leprechaun gets stoned and he's stumbling around, running into things, and it's this broad comedy moment in a movie that hasn't earned that.
No. And
it has not given for a half an hour. We've seen this really serious shit.
Yeah.
And then now we get this little stone guy, a little midget guy in green, just stumbling around. That doesn't fit. That doesn't fit. That doesn't fit. God damn it.
Especially since we know the leprechaun can handle the shit.
Yeah, we know that he knows it's the bomb.
It's the bomb.
Yeah, so it's, you've got this weird, and it stuff like this always bother the shit out of me, right? Because it's like, what did you have and what did you think you were improving?
Yeah.
And I understand that, whoever came up with the original idea, he got paid. And at that point, I'm sure none of what this became, much beyond the first 20 minutes or so, is anything that he recognizes anymore. But it's...
Oh, God, man. There's like this whole plot line with a psychic medium who warns them.
helps them defeat
the leprechaun. There's this whole thing with this lady at the hair salon who's just like the customer from hell.
Yeah.
That the leprechaun kills by giving her a massage. It's so weird.
But that scene by itself fits a leprechaun movie.
It does.
It does not fit whatever this
movie.
Like,
yeah.
this leprechaun movie struggles from not being a comedy from the start or not staying true to what it seemed to want to be in the first 20 minutes. And it's really sad that this is the last time you see Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
He's done after this, and I kind of don't blame him.
It's real sad.
Yeah, I mean, because and I feel bad. The main girl and her friend, those two actresses are really good in this.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think the main girl actually has had a career since, and still at it. But I feel this is one of those things where you feel like they're putting so much effort into nothing at all. Mm-hmm. To something that's just ultimately kind of depressing, because it's so. I wouldn't want this on my IMDb if I was either one of those two actresses. It's like,
man, that DVD cover is, oh my God, he's got like the leprechaun's got the gold tooth. He's got a gold chain, and the chain has got the 2 in the leprechaun back to the hood. If I picked this up, I'd be like, and if I watched the previous one, I'd have been like, oh fuck yeah, he's back in the hood. I'm renting the fuck out of this. It definitely seems like they're gonna go more ridiculous with that.
Yeah.
Whereas the first one, Leprechaun in the Hood, it's pretty sparse. It's got the leprechaun's face. And then you've got motherfucking Ice-T sitting on a throne, looking hard.
Right.
You would think that this would be the more serious one.
Or at least move Ice-T to the bottom here. See, again, these movies are out of order.
Yeah.
Like,
And the tagline is just "Evil's in the house."
Yeah, this is evil has a whole new rap ! And then the back, it's misrepresented. And then, because like even the picture of the actress and the actors down here at the bottom does not fit the description.
That's very like Boys in the Hoodie right there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really is. But it's like, but I read the back of this. He's all blazed up
Yeah, his whole blazed up.
and seeking revenge.
You know,
and there's Ghetto Fabulous, and people are buying hair extensions
there's
in this
another
movie. That
reason
doesn't
why.
fit.
There's another reason why you know that this was not. At least I know that this was not originally a Leprechaun movie. At least the source material that they used could not have been a Leprechaun movie, because guess how many limericks this movie has?
None.
None. No limericks.
Much like 4.
Exactly like 4.
4 sucked. I like this movie way more than 4.
I agree. This movie at least has some scenes of worth.
And there are multiple scenes of, like, I liked the characters in this movie. Particularly the 2 main girls and the pothead buddy.
Yes.
I didn't want any of these people to get hurt.
Yeah.
As it turned out, the person I liked the most got hurt. Got killed.
Yeah.
But
That's going to happen.
That's going to happen. But yeah, it's so disappointing. Like, what?
But there's a thing that happens in this movie that we have not talked about yet.
Yes. So, yeah, okay. So
This is a big thing.
yeah, and this will pretty much lead us into our ending here. So, all month, you're probably thinking, what the fuck is that song they're playing? I know some of you already know. Some others of you will be like, the fuck is this song? It has nothing to do with the Leprechaun series. It has all to do about where the gold at.
Yes. Where the gold at?
So where is the gold at?
Well, the gold is in Crichton, Alabama.
Yes.
A neighborhood or suburb of Mobile. And I need to pull up the Wikipedia page for this because
basically the genesis of all of this is some years ago, many years ago, like different decade, there was a viral YouTube video
yes.
that hit big where the Mobile, Alabama news station.
It was 2006.
It was 2006.
Yes.
They are reporting on this strange thing that's going on in this neighborhood, Crichton.
It's a leprechaun sighting.
It's a leprechaun sighting.
Multiple people are saying on camera that they've seen, or people they know have seen, a leprechaun.
Yes. And what they've done is basically every night, it's like a party trying to find the leprechaun, trying to see the leprechaun.
Partying in the streets looking for the leprechaun. This video went insanely viral. It inspired all sorts of different like
remixes
and supercuts and all of that, right? Just hilarious. And if you haven't seen
the way that this is handled by the news crew is partially, it's one of those kind of, we're ending our broadcast tonight on a lighter note, but they're also handling it with some they're
legitimizing it,
right? And they're acting professionally with it too.
Yeah, they're playing it straight. They might all think it's a joke, but they're playing it like a real news story.
Yeah, and
there's even an amateur sketch that they put on the news that somebody drew on a yellow legal paper of the leprechaun. If you haven't seen it, look it up. But it's this like round face with beady eyes, wearing like a bowler hat with a buckle on it.
Yeah, and it looks like they just took it off of a stick figure.
Yeah,
and it's so great.
It's wonderful, and this was on the news.
Yeah,
amateur sketch of the purported Crichton leprechaun,
and it is predominantly a black neighborhood. So, you've got people just having fun with this, man. And it's like one lady, it's like, it's probably just a crackhead who got into some of the wrong stuff.
Right. Yeah. But people are having a great time. Like this one guy's selling a flute that he claims was thousands of years old. You know,
it's just a recorder.
Yeah.
It's a plastic recorder.
I mean, I think one guy like carved his own. Right? I mean, it's amazing. It's just these people having fun in the neighborhood. You know, kind of going with the flow.
It just looks like a block party.
Exactly.
You know?
Looks
and
like
it's
a really
like whatever.
fun party.
It's like we got the news to show up. You know, it's fantastic.
So. So basically, what the heck? Here we go.
What we see in this movie at one point,
yeah,
is a leprechaun sitting in a tree.
Yeah, and you see him from behind, and he's looking down. He's sitting in a tree,
and that is the beginning of the story of. We saw a leprechaun in that tree over there,
right? And
that's the story that the Alabama news station is reporting.
That's specifically correct because the leprechaun was sighted in a tree. So definitely like, ooh, interesting, because we haven't seen this movie before.
No, not this one.
You know, and we were using the might be a leprechaun just kind of fun, tongue in cheek, right? As part of the theme.
It might be a leprechaun.
And holy shit. And then we also we read the Wikipedia page for the Crichton Leprechaun, and listen to this. This is fascinating. The Bob and Dan Show on WTCK 1310 The Ticket in Dallas conducted a field investigation in 2014, interviewing locals about their memories of the incident. Numerous witnesses identified the Crichton Leprechaun as a local African-American dwarf dubbed Midget Sean. The interviewers were brought to meet the man, who recounted the story as a prank played on the local community in which he dressed in a leprechaun suit and climbed a tree while his friends alerted others about a leprechaun sighting.
That's amazing.
I fucking guarantee you, Midget Sean and his buddies probably smoked a little bit of dope, watched Leprechaun Back to the Hood, and were struck by a really fun idea for a prank. And I fucking love it. So if this movie did nothing else, I'm pretty damn sure it inspired probably the funniest fucking viral video in the history of mankind.
Oh my God. It's so great. It's so great.
So great.
It's so great. Yeah. I mean, I really, the more I thought about this movie, because again, take two, I've had some time to think on this. I really wish I liked this movie.
Yeah.
I think there are certain things in this movie that even if the leprechaun was just treated more seriously, this movie's better. Period. I wanted to like this movie. I really did. I wish I had liked this movie. And it's unfortunate that it's marketed as a direct sequel in tonally, to Leprechaun in the Hood, because it doesn't deserve that. Doesn't deserve it.
Well, it holds one of the highest approval ratings of the Leprechaun movies, which is weird.
But I guess if I would have watched this without seeing all these other ones so recently, I probably would liked it more.
Yeah.
This may be one of the better even-numbered ones.
Yeah.
Because the production value is there. The acting is there. It's not like 2 where the production value looks really cheap and some of the acting is really rough. 4 is just garbage start to finish.
Yeah.
This, I don't know. I wish I had liked this movie.
Yeah. Well, it had 0 limericks. So that puts it at the bottom of our limerick-o-meter to date, with Leprechaun 4 with 3, even though we were kind of like pretty liberal.
Stretching.
That was a liberal 3.
Yeah.
Then we've got Leprechaun 1 with 7. We have Leprechaun 5 with 28. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped Leprechaun 2 with 17.
Yeah.
Leprechaun 5 with 28, and then Leprechaun 3 with 41.
Wow.
41.
Leprechaun 3 had one every minute or so.
Yeah. I mean, pretty
one
much.
every 2 minutes.
One every 2 minutes.
A little over 2 minutes. Yeah. That's amazing. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well done. We're almost done, dude.
Holy shit, we did it, man.
Yeah.
Because we've already recorded the next episode.
Yeah, shit. We're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
We did it.
We did it.
Woo. Woo! You guys aren't done.
You guys aren't done. You got one more to listen to.
Week.
But wink, wink.
It's pretty
good stuff coming.
It's a pretty good week.
Good stuff coming.
Absolutely.
Jason.
Yeah.
What are our social medias? What are our socials?
Our socials. We got the Twitters, the Instagrams, and the Facebooks. Are our socials, and it's at Film Seizure.
At Film Seizure.
It's pretty
simple
easy.
as that.
Yeah.
What about email? Can people email us?
Yeah, people can email us. Email us at filmseizure@gmail.com.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we like email.
Yeah. Where's our home base?
Home base is filmseizure.com.
Yeah, and I can tell you, because this is the part I usually have to step in. We upload our shits to
And our giggles.
and our but mostly our shits. We to Instapoops. No, we upload our episodes to the SoundCloud. That's where you will listen if you go to filmseizure.com. But we also upload from there to like Google Podcasts, Gmail, or
Tune in.
iTunes, or Apple Podcasts or whatever. Tune in and Spotify.
Yep.
We also even put stuff on the Facebooks. I mean, the YouTubes. This has been a long journey to get here, man. The Facebooks. I mean, the Googles. I mean, the YouTubes. I mean, the poopers. So YouTube. If you like to listen to stuff that, like, maybe you like having YouTube playing in the background or whatever, we're there. We are there. That's just at YouTube.
Yeah.
At Film Seizure. Just search for Film Seizure. We show up, I think. We should. Probably.
We do.
We probably do.
We do. Yeah.
We do?
Yeah, pretty
Fantastic. Anyway. Like us, comment. Well, all that stuff. Do that stuff.
Yeah.
Next week, Leprechaun Halloween comes to a close, but it's not Halloween yet. We got one more episode in October as our Halloween specials.
Indeed.
Fridays. Fridays, go over to bmovieenema.com. I got B-movie enemas. I got fresh, piping hot enemas.
Yes.
Coming right for your butts.
So they're cleansing.
They're cleansing. They cleanse you right out. Also on Mondays, we got Monster Mondays. So, yeah, do those things.
Do it.
Do it.
Listen to us. Read us. Like us. Love us.
Yeah, love us. We are lovable guys.
We are.
Jason's kind of a jerk.
I only want your love, though. That's all I want. If I'm being a jerk, it's just because it's a cry for help.
It really is.
Yeah.
All right. So until next time, I am Jeff Arbuckle.
I am Jason Oliver, and you have been listening to Film Seizure Take 3.
And 4 and 5 and 99.
I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. Give me the gold. I want to know. I want to know.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong